What is up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Triple KO, and obviously, this week is a special one because we have to talk about EVO, and we have Long Island Joe as the special guest today, and his pink background. It is awesome. Obviously, we have Matt McMuscles and Maximilian, who were also at EVO. We were all at EVO, and just how was EVO for everybody?
I don't know if EVO keeps getting smaller and smaller every year. I don't even think
pathetic this year. I'd say pathetic.
Pathetic.
I was kind of bored. There was like no one in the arena. It was like an empty arena. What happened?
There was 5 arcade games in the arcade area. There was like 3 booths.
Yeah, they had 4 different versions of Tekken 1. I don't know what they were thinking.
Oh man, that's crazy. But obviously we're completely kidding. Venue was amazing. Las Vegas Convention Center, super big. I don't know. There was so many arcades. I didn't really get a chance to go around too much of EVO. I feel like Max, you were stuck in your skybox tower, right?
I was in Geese Tower.
Geese Tower.
The thing I did, which I was super glad, it was actually my favorite part of the event because I streamed so much. So on Saturday night, after everything was done, after Third Strike Finals, everything cleared out. We were getting stuff ready for the next day. Me and Jessica, because we were, obviously could run a show, so we can just get in there. We went down and walked into the hall, and everybody was gone because people are just going to bed. It's 11:30 at night. And we heard that there was an anime night. So they were running Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, on the opposite side. So I'm like, oh, this is so sick. So they were just running that. It was the English version with all the best music and voices and shit. I'll fight you on your own level. Come on!
I heard the audio went out on that, though. And
at the beginning.
And taste. Okay.
Yeah, at the beginning, it was a little funky.
But that's what they should do from now on. Get rid of the audio or turn it down really low and just have commentators commentate over it.
And they did have that. I think Tasty Steve and Yipes and a few others. Joe, you weren't there, were you?
I was there for the announcement of it.
Gotcha.
And then I got on stage to help them do it. And then Yipes was like, are you staying here? I was like, nah, I gotta go up in one. And he was like, then get the hell out of here.
Kick your ass out.
The whole stadium booed me and told me to leave.
Oh, that's fun. So yeah, they were running that on all the projectors and the screens, but I walked in and watched the final 5 minutes of it,
Okay.
So, but in between that, me and Jessica were just walking around the entire floor. Nobody's there. Can't talk to any devs. There were just random people getting stuff ready for Sunday. And I actually got to check everything out. I got to walk up to Terry and take a picture with Terrell. I got to go to the Capcom booth and get some big shots of Cyclops and Ryu. I got to walk the arcade and play the crazy Japanese ping pong game, and played some dudes at Marvel 2. It was nice, man. And I got to play DDR with JJ. It was I got to enjoy this place for an hour. I thought I was getting mad FOMO looking from that skybox down at everything. I was like, I'm never gonna get to enjoy any of this,
So you didn't get to the artist alley because everything was closed then.
So everything was closed. I got to walk up and down it and check stuff out, but in terms of buying stuff and supporting some artists, unfortunately, never had a chance.
Did you see the one booth that had these massive tapestries of Elden Ring bosses?
I saw that one.
Are you going to say Elden Ring? Oh my!
Yeah.
I wanted one. I wanted
beautiful.
Mesmer. I wanted Mesmer real bad, but I was like, I have logistically no place to put that. But those were godlike. For those that maybe not seen on social media, it was like Caravaggio, Michelangelo illustrated levels of the Renaissance,
Sistine Chapel shit.
It was amazing. I didn't see the prices on those, but I mean, if I could have gotten that, I would have.
Kenny was walking around, and next year, these are things that I'm going to change because obviously we want to do a similar thing next year without getting sick. And this time, I want to have Kenny have a super good gimbal with mega upload running around the floor and talking to people and doing stuff at his own leisure, but I can restream him with super good high quality. So, as he's going around, I can pitch his stream and promote him. And he did the same thing. He saw that booth and I was like, what the hell? And we got the artist's name and everybody to crash his poor website, when that was happening. So then, it was really sick.
Joe, were you able to do stuff? Cause you were kind of one of the main hosts of the show. Were you able to do stuff in general?
Yeah, actually, thank goodness I did. I actually bought a bunch of stuff from the artist. I bought a jacket. I got a hoodie. I did walk past that booth, and I was stunned. I remember stopping and just being like, like I was in church. It's just so massive and beautiful. I shook the artist's hand. I'm like, dude, I just want to shake your hand. This is incredible. But I did get a chance to walk around. I did play a game of DDR with John. Me and John played a game of DDR together. I got to spend some time with
Which one did you play?
I had a session with City of the Wolves, which was cool.
Good.
So I managed to, I was begging the guys at EVO, can I please get like my schedule run of show early so I can then, because everyone's like, hey, do you have time? I was like, my main obligation is obviously making sure that I do EVO. Like, that's the first. Anything else, I'll see if I can sprinkle in. So I begged EVO for, like my work schedule so I can then hit up everybody else and be like, yeah, I have this block, I'm free. This block, I'm free. This block, I'm free. So I did manage to squeeze a couple things in. I had a really good time this EVO. Probably one of my favorite EVOs I've ever been to.
Same here.
It was
That's
very
awesome.
fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, that is awesome because you were just kind of all over the place. You even did like the Family Feud one, and dude, that clip of you just coming out from the table is hilarious. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it. Yeah, like literally, he has the Kyo pose of the smile and everything. That one was really good. But yeah, what was your favorite game that you guys have all played like throughout, like, obviously the collection, City of the Wolves, Net Impact, 2XKO? Out of the four, what was kind of like your favorite?
I think I've talked about this one. City of the Wolves. It was just easily.
Bro, that game is fucking fun. Like, dude,
it was the same build that we played at Summer Games Fest.
Same build,
to be fair. But I mean, it was still, a really awesome. I was just like in the little like booth, just by myself, and then I was like, I'm just gonna set up the second player so I can just like basically have training mode because I already played like other people and the CPU at Summer Games Fest. But like, yeah, it's still so good. I'm not sure if this did change or I'm just forgetting, but we were talking about a little bit that power, that Buster Wolf is now just like it's perfection. Before it was kind of like, maybe it's not as much impact, but I don't know if that was any different, but it still felt really good.
Sure.
I did not play 2XKO, to be fair. I just didn't have time. I didn't have an appointment either there, but everything else I did play and enjoyed to a certain level. I mean, it's hard to say about Marvel vs. Capcom Collection because, already they're games of a known quantity, but it was still like the exact same like front end as Capcom Fighting Collection, which I was playing like on the plane over. I was just going through Darkstalkers and playing them. It's like the exact same, but it's still such a good, jazzy, fun front end that works really well with Marvel. And I enjoyed Hunter Cross Hunter. I actually did. I have no idea who these characters. I have no idea who these characters are. I really don't. Kid in green. He's the kid. The kid in green. That's all.
He's like Gone. Kid in green. The main character.
Yeah. That's all I know. But that was still really fun. I was kind of expecting it to be like sort of like, I don't really know what's going on, but no, still really solid. So I enjoyed everything I played. I didn't play Takeda build in MK1 because I'm like, he's coming out in like, a week. So, but yeah, City of the Wolves still for me.
All right. What about you, Max?
I think the highlight for me, obviously City of the Wolves was sort of like a reconfirmation. 2XKO definitely was surprising. I played with the new Pulse Fuse. And that it just makes it much easier just to jump in and do stuff where it's obvious they did do the exact same thing an auto combo should do, where it's like, it's basic, like it's a very basic auto combo similar to Street Fighter 6, but it lets you use your resources. So that's great. You actually see a super game being used if you do something. So that was nice with like a 15-minute demo. It's perfect for that. But I'm like, I can't wait to get home and actually have a training mode and figure out some like legit wall bounce, full extension, mix up after Oki type of stuff, which is what the game's all about. I think the highlight though was the fact that Marvel 2 didn't have a ton of input delay.
Yeah,
that was
great.
big. And the Capcom Fighting Collection that came before this, the Darkstalkers Collection, has a bit of input delay. You have to play the PC version in order to not have that input delay. The old PS3 360 versions have a notorious amount of input delay associated with them. It's way less on emulation. So we arguably might have the lowest input delay version of Marvel 2 next to the Dreamcast. And I don't feel like it's as good as the Dreamcast still, but it felt very good. And so much so that I was like kind of surprised. I went back and I checked out X-Men versus Street Fighter and stuff like that. I think some of the bitching we had with the previous Capcom Fighting Collection of like input delay in this is kind of brutal on PS4 to PS5. It's kind of bad. It was not the worst, but it's kind of bad. It's not as bad as Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. Seems like they took that to heart, and it's fixed now.
And Joe, what about you?
I will probably say the one I had the most fun with is actually 2XKO.
Nice.
I think that's because it's the first time I got legit hands on it, so I was able to get a private playtest. But then, as I was leaving the playtest, someone else was like, "Hey, I need a fourth," and I was like, "Woohoo!" So I actually, after playing for an hour, I got to get like sneak another hour in there as someone else's fourth. So I got to really play it for a good consecutive amount of time and actually, feel it a little bit, understand it. I'm not very good at team games, but playing the duo mode, it's just like, it's something I've never done before in a fighting game. I was talking to one of my friends and I'm like, yo, we can have like legit football plays. Like, dude, run the Slim Jim. And that means like you do this block string into this assist. But your opponent won't know that. But your partner will know what the Slim Jim means. Yeah. Like, there's this really cool dynamic that I think 2XKO is doing that I don't think we've got. I remember Cross Tekken tried to do something like that, but I don't know if it was, like, as in-depth and flushed out as 2XKO seems. But I will say probably 2XKO was my favorite. And besides that was certainly City of Wolves. And I think the only reason why I have 2XKO above City of Wolves because I only got like 30 minutes with City of Wolves, maybe like 45, and I was like trying. I didn't really get to feel the game, but after spending more time with 2XKO, getting to really the meat and potatoes of the game really helped me appreciate it a little bit more. But I would certainly say again 2XKO and then City of Wolves right under it.
Yeah, so for me, like I think City of the Wolf and Mario's Capcom Arcade Collection are equal in terms of playing, because like. When I played City of the Wolves, I played with like the main, like their best player, SNK's best player. So like he was cooking me in the beginning, and then I was able to like learn and then give him a really competitive set afterwards. So I understood kind of like, oh, this is actually how the game's supposed to be played at this point. Yeah. So that was awesome. And then the Mario's Capcom Collection, obviously on the stage with Yipes, you were commentating it, having the Capcom private play test, playing with Yipes and JM Croft, and even with playing with at the Max and Yo video games, like playing just like low tier, mid tier Marvel, like stuff like that was like really, really fun to me. So like,
just imagine you get to do that with like people online in the near future, and just
I'm
works.
really hoping rollback works. I actually was rewatching Me versus Yipes today, and I noticed there are some issues when I rewatched the footage. A lot of sound issues.
Really?
Like so Magneto's hitting my Yipes is Magneto hitting my Sentinel to infinite, right? It's like boom boom, the ROM infinite, and all you hear Sentinel is saying deploy, and I'm like, wait, why is he saying deploy? Like, because that's the assist, that's Sentinel pointing the finger, and usually he's sending the Sentinel drones, but it's saying deploy. So it seems like there's like a lot of random visual issue, like sound issues, but they did fix a lot of glitches, like obviously the Gamma glitch, Ruby Heart glitch is all gone, but even some of the really good glitches, like Juggernaut glitch, is gone.
This one's brutal.
And I was like, wow, really? Like that's a fun glitch, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those glitches that I would want to be in the game, but they took that out, and I'm like kind of curious on like what other changes when people do a deep dive eventually.
I'm gonna make an assumption because I watched your video, Justin, and it looks like Juggernaut tag out glitch is gone. Like it does not give you the damage buff. I'm gonna say that I hope that changes. And I hope it goes back because it allows a relatively bad character to be like actually kind of okay. It's the equivalent of like, oh, we're just going to remove, not broad stroke, but like we're just going to remove roll canceling from CVS2. It's like, no, that's a big change. That changes like, that makes bad characters much better. It makes good characters really good. But I think things like that might be an oversight where, as much as I know about the old port of Marvel 2, things that got fixed in that game were not intentionally fixed. Just the process of like bringing the game over and porting it from emulation or bringing old code, things just didn't work anymore. So, like I said before, some stuff like the Gambit glitch and things like that just got mystically fixed. So that could be the case here, where it's like, oh yeah, by the process of doing this, Juggernaut, that was a glitch, the fact that it stayed there the whole time, it was a bug, and seemingly now it's acting like it normally should. But I think there should be some concerns, and I'll echo this as well, that I think that's one that should stay. I think Juggernaut glitch specifically is something that severely stifles that character's, his team, his usability. And is this like a dominating strategy? Bro, no. Like, it's goofy and fun and cool, but it's not something that ruins the game at all.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And I think it just happened. I think it's by the process of them just making this shit, it's just like, hey, it's just not working anymore.
They might have been like, let's add these training mode and hitbox display viewers, and that might have fixed a lot of bugs in general. Who knows, yeah. Right?
Did you guys see that other small issue that someone raised up on Twitter on the game? It's the
Hurtbox viewer.
Yeah, the Hurtbox viewer was like slightly inaccurate, and
I saw that.
It was Waffles NS over on Twitter is just like, I really hope they do fix this. Like, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's like this could lead to misinformation on what has a Hurtbox and what doesn't. Sure. And me and others looped Andy at Capcom in that thread just to see. But I'd imagine that's something that would be fixed before release.
So obviously, like sound bugs and things like that, that's things that we hope getting fixed. Do you hope that there's something in the game that sort of changed, Justin, that you hope comes back? Is Juggernaut glitch the big one?
Yeah, I would say maybe that one might be the biggest one that I can recall at the moment, because they have other glitches, like they got first attack glitch, that's still in there.
It's still in there, yeah.
All right. But I think my biggest thing is just give me a different version of X-Men Street Fighter, like at least let me choose.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I see.
the fact that it's on version 3 compared to version 1, it's kind of weird. Like, I think that's not what a lot of people are used to from the old school, or at least played recently on Fightcade, for example.
It's a weird version too, because I played it as well. I got footage, and Shodo Corner Infinite still work.
Yeah, they still work.
I'm like, wait a minute. So Sykes, obviously his HP does not do wall bounce anymore. I'm like, okay, so his infinites are mostly nerfed, but other characters just still have them. Ken's was identical. I was like, what are we doing? Wait, what version is this?
Pretty much the top tier characters got nerfed. Like Storm,
Gotcha.
Infinites is gone as well too. So it's only like those really cheap spike infinites that are gone. But like if you do like standing heavy kick with Magneto hypergrav loop, that's still there.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like considered a different combo versus like a Cyclops and Storm combo.
Well,
but yeah, it's just kind of weird though.
I guess it's just a nerf to the super top tiers then.
It is. But I guess we'll see. Because if you think about it, version 3 is still considered during that time frame anyway. It's not like it's a brand new version. So yeah. I don't know. But besides that, what is your favorite? What are your favorites? Tournament results. Best tournament to watch.
Third strike.
Yeah, I was gonna say, come on.
Third strike.
Don't ask me a question.
Third strike popped off so goddamn hard, dude.
Is it? Third strike was really good.
We've all been watching Hayao for years, but like this being the year of the Hugh Goat is like, I'm watching it on my TV screen. I didn't go into the arena for this, but I was watching the TV screen in my hotel room, and my wife's watching, and the showmanship is enough to get people that are not super into fighting games to get super into fighting games. Like she's like, I'll watch any tournament this guy's in.
Yeah.
When she saw the splits, like that's what we need every so often. We need someone to, that's
as soon as
fun.
Hayao was like walking off the stage, I saw the Cirque du Soleil media team go up to him, and they're like, "So how much do you cost?" And we're gonna get Cirque de Hayao.
Yeah.
And of course, Justin's call of that is a worthless button.
It is a bad move.
it is, but like it's so legendary. That's worthless button. And I think it was either you or Vicious that just called Hayao this is a magical man. Yeah. This is a magical.
He is a magical man.
It was too entertaining.
What button did he do to jump over Shippuden? Was it stand HK?
Standing heavy kick, yeah.
Stand hard kick.
What the fuck, dude? It's like the most the worst kick, button he's got, and for some reason he did it like he knew.
Bro, my man was magical. He really read that, and I saw Joe tweet it. He's like, "I'm so glad the world finally knows who Hayao is," because literally, if you are a Third Strike hardcore like player, like you'll know who Hayao is, but like everybody else that's watching EVO, a lot of them, this might be their first time ever being experienced at high level Third Strike and watching Third Strike. So I could see why you put Third Strike as the best top 8. It's up there for me, but it's hard to choose because it's like if Hayao won EVO, I think it would have been number 1 for sure.
Dude, MOV also cooking with Elena was incredible.
Yeah, that was really cool as well. I love that
really
too.
wish he had stuck with her. Like, he made the right move by switching to Chun, obviously. But I love Elena and like Third Strike Elena specifically. So I really wish he'd be able to like clinch it out with her. But yeah, he did make the right move. But yeah, it was incredible to see at that level Elena and Hugo like in top
In the
six.
top six, right? When you
amazing.
when you're assuming it's Yun Chun across the board,
Of course.
right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny how
That's
like.
actually what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mac. My bad, Mac. Sorry. That's actually what I was gonna say. I was thinking about like, especially after doing commentary for EVO Japan and being like, all right, it's Yun Chun. Like, this is gonna be.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough to see and kind of tough to watch, but I was so happy for 1,000 different reasons. Not only that, it's Third Strike. Like, Justin is commentating. I'm like, wow, Justin's commentating Third Strike at EVO 2024. Like, all these players that I've been watching my entire life of playing fighting games are on the stage showcasing Third Strike. Issei came here in 2006 and was beating all of us to death.
Yep.
Frankie has been playing Third Strike since he was a kid. He didn't know how to play Third Strike when we were all playing. He wasn't good. Now he's incredible. Like, it's just so amazing to see where the game has evolved and like being able to see the players that have evolved with the game. Like, all those dudes put in so much work in Third Strike, and it was just like it was a big full circle moment to me. It was really like super special. I don't know if any game will top Third Strike for me as far as that goes. Like, it's just very heartwarming and very touching to just see all that stuff come together. And again, we had a good top six. Like, Elena, Hugo, Ken, yes, Yun and Chun, but there was a couple of outliers that made it really cool. Urian, like, and it's just wasn't what I was. It was exactly what I was hoping, but I did not expect it to happen, I guess I should say.
No, yeah. I mean, you're 100% right about that, because like when you mention how like Third Strike is like full circle, even the Urian play Resolve, he's 21 years old and he made top six. So the fact that like people like in that age group is still playing Third Strike, trying to get good at it, it's like you could tell the fight for the future is secure.
Bro, the game is older than him.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, he
Dude.
wasn't even
It
playing
is
Third Strike when the
older
game
than
came
Resolve.
out. Like, he was a baby. So it's just insane for that one.
Yeah, all it really did was just like reinforce the thought process that I've been pitching around for a very long time, that this is just the greatest fighting game ever made. I'm sorry. And, it still shows up in tournaments and is amazing. So, yeah, it's Third Strike's the best. I don't know what to tell you.
You
Very
got
happy.
my vote, Max. No argument here. No argument here.
Slight anecdote. I want to say back in college, people were playing Third Strike in like a back room. Like, it was kind of like this bar social area that we had. And Chirithi showed up because, he spent time in Montreal. Like, I'm not sure if he's originally from Montreal.
No,
but
yeah, he lives there.
Okay. So I met him there and everyone's like, Chirithi's here. And it was like my first time knowing about him. And then people were just like, I want to play you. And I was going to play him next. Like, I was like, yeah, I'll play next. And then I heard someone go up to him and say, who do you main in Third Strike? And back then he just goes, everyone.
Everyone.
So I was like, oh no. Proceeds to cook my shitty Alex. And like that was it. And I saw him every so often. And so it was amazing seeing him in top six. Just,
yeah.
I wasn't paying super close attention to pools and before that. So when I saw him pop up, I was like, oh shit. And it was just nice blast from the past. So
Yeah, he's been traveling like throughout this whole year playing Third Strike. He went to like France, EVO Japan. So like all the big Third Strike tournaments, he's like really into it. So him getting third, it's like he deserves to get third or even higher, because like he's been grinding. It's not like he just showed up and be like, hey, I'm gonna enter this Third Strike tournament and call it a day. Like he's working hard.
At EVO
so
Japan, I think Chirithi had a Chun versus Chun mirror.
Against Nuki. He beat Nuki.
It was fucking Nuki, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the most aggressive Chun versus Chun match I had ever seen. It was, I think it's Chun versus Chun. This is a snooze fest of a match at times. Dude, that shit was my favorite match from Third Strike EVO Japan. And it was they were so up each other's ass, it was crazy.
Yeah. No, it's crazy because the meta of Chun versus Chun has changed so much, where it's not just like you mash, crouch, and medium kick under the table all day. Sure. It's like super aggressive now. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I really like that. But for me, I mean, like I said, you guys said Third Strike was the best. I'm about that 6. Street Fighter 6, Punk winning.
Sure.
Still really good.
That was beautiful, just because like, I always call him the uncrowned king. He's win so much tournaments, but never like the really big ones. So the fact that he won, and it's also like, everyone talks about it. North America can never win, Street Fighter as a main title and everything like that. So the fact that he was able to win, and it was such a great grand finals. Like and also a lot of character diversity. I think the only character that was like resembled multiple times was just Ed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was the only two. So I was really happy about that. And it went down to the wire, last game, final round.
Yep.
And off of a jump in. Don't tell people how to play. Don't never tell people how to play neutral. You just win it with a jump in. Call it a day, right? So I love that. But obviously Evo has a lot of like tournament results. We play a lot of games. What about the announcements? Some of the announcements were kind of crazy. Obviously, we'll go with the first one. SNK versus Capcom. SBC Chaos. Shadow dropped by SNK. And like literally they had the poster banner hidden. And then once they announced it, they just like put it on the floor, the show floor. So how do we feel about SBC coming back to the scene? Also has rollback, from Code Mystics and everything. Like, what do we think about it?
I love that it's out, but I would still maintain this would have been even better if it was included in a CVS 1 and 2 package. Like all three were there. Like, I just think that would have been like an unbeatable thing, like price per value on that collection. But I do understand it's like SNK owns that. And I guess it's just simpler for SNK to put out the games that it collaborated on Capcom with, and Capcom can do the same whenever they want to do it. But it's still really cool that it came out. Obviously, a few of us here might have gotten early access to this before it shadow dropped on Steam, but I think it's like a really, really strong collection, just re-release for what it is. There is a few things that's like Code Mystics is asking about people, like, because their mantra for this release was don't mess with the original ROM, but you should. We should have more than 4 continues in an arcade ladder because
Max, that's a thing.
Yeah, once you get to the end, like you can coast through most of the game. Once you get to Super Akuma, you have 4 continues, and then if you try to just press start, nothing happens. It just counts down, and you're just
over.
I think there's a ROM of SVC Chaos Plus that changes that.
I think so.
Yeah, and that was like there's one version that I remember playing back in the day. I continued a lot.
I believe this is the AES version, so it's like the Neo. It's
MVS.
It's not like, and I can't remember now, but like it's not the PS2 version or the Xbox version or anything like that. So yeah, there's that. Please slow down the dialogue. Please slow that down by like 3 extras. Yes.
No, never.
The dialogue is too precious to go that fast, and just disable the timer. And when you're just selecting characters in practice.
Oh, I hate that timer. Yeah, that timer sucks.
It's so fast. And but aside from that, like all that unlockable art, some of that unlockable art I don't think I've seen before. Like 1 or 2 of them, I'm like, I don't remember this at all. So I think that was a great announcement. Obviously, there's some people that are like, oh, really this? And like, I get it, but at the same time, it's really neat that it got re-released. Got a win quote. Obviously, all this goes to him. Credit him for his video. That video, a month before this came out, then it spurred it, right? They're like, SNK is like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
They started development right then.
Right then. So yeah, I think it was pretty sick.
Did you guys watch the Kevin Ryan trailer from Fatal Fury City of the Wolves?
I did.
Yes.
He was mega good in Gauro, right?
Yeah,
he was broken. He's top tier.
Isn't he top 1, right? Isn't he pretty much top 1?
I think there's 3 top 1 characters in the original
Jenny's good in that game too, right?
Yeah, V-Janet's top 1 as well. I think Gato's also top 1 as well. So like top tiers.
Isn't Grant top 1?
Kane too. So there's 5 top ones. There's 5 top ones. So, but yeah, looking at Kevin Ryan, the trailer, it really does look like his Garo self, where he's able to combo after the super. Obviously, the moves are a little bit slowed down and everything like that, but he looks like he has the sauce when it comes to all the combos. So I really do like that about him.
His special where he hits you with his knee, just grabs you in the middle of the air and just pulls you down into his knee. Like, that's such a sick special. And I'm not sure if you guys saw, but like in his little bio, it basically says like the Garo, City of the Wolves, takes place in the far-flung future of 2009.
Wait, really?
Yes. It says 2009, and it says Kevin Ryan is searching for Freeman, who killed his partner. So I guess that might soft confirm that Freeman might be showing up.
That would make sense.
in some form, so that's cool.
I'm still
I don't want
predicting a
Freeman to come
20
back,
character
bro.
roster at least.
No, that's my favorite character, Justin. That's my favorite Gorilla character. Even though he sucks, that's my favorite character.
I mean, you like
Freeman?
the kind of you know what it is. Joe likes that rah 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 type of stuff going on with the music and everything. So Freeman kind of could pass for like that metalhead. So I get it. But yeah, I don't want Freeman or who's the other one? Hokuto.
No, Hoku tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't want those two
Hokuto
characters
Tomorrow.
back. I don't want those two characters back.
I said a few podcasts ago, I was like, I'd rather not have Freeman in there, or like drastically redesign Freeman to not just be like Blood
Iori
Riot,
clone?
Iori, yeah,
like
like
a Yori clone.
do
whatever.
something else
say,
with his moveset.
I'd say based on current events and events that we're about to talk about as well, there's a Fatal Fury character that I think would be really cool if they showed up in Fatal Fury for no reason whatsoever. Because, you know, in fighting games, when characters are dead, they're just dead. You know, they don't come back. There's
don't
never
come
a
back.
reason for them
No
to come
such
back.
thing.
There's no way. So with that being said, I would like a walking corpse of Geese to be playable again in Fatal Fury. I want him back. I want him in the game. It's been a while.
Nightmare Geese.
Nightmare Geese is
purple
one thing,
geese,
right?
Purple skin geese.
But I want like a transference of soul into new body. He's younger. Like I want some shit like that.
Oh, you want some like transformation, like Naruto type of thing going on.
I want some Heihachi on my Geese is what I want.
You know, King of Fighters All Stars, they have a female young geese.
Oh
So
yeah,
she could be.
I want
female
big-titted
young
geese. Let's go, dude.
Justin, can you send me a picture of that character in the chat, please? I'd like to check.
Oh,
that
you
out.
want
Thanks.
you want female young geese? You know, as I'm looking for this,
I have not seen that.
Oh, you never seen
Destroy
it?
my search history.
I actually like legit would not want Geese back because it's not like Heihachi has died multiple times. He has, but he never was. Raven was wrong, right? That's a different thing. But Geese has died and come back based on continuities and the games. Thank you, Justin. I'm looking at that. I would actually like Krauser to come back. I want Krauser to show up and be like buddy with Kane or something like that. Like Krauser's pulling the strings because I think
that's right.
Geese is so special that he can only come in crossover games from now on, or the King of Fighters continuity.
Right, but just think of what that sets up. They set up like a power dynamic between Rock and his now not dead father type of thing. Where he's, oh, my real dad is back. I have two dads, and one's a piece of shit. You know, there is something that can be done because Rock has never seen his fucking dad, pretty much.
That's true. Okay. I mean, that's interesting.
There's
like,
interesting,
Rock is like,
weird shit to explore there.
Rock's like, which one should I shiny knuckle? I don't know which one. Like, you know. But yeah, I'd love Krauser to come back. That'd just be unexpected because if Geese were to come back, that would kind of be like, all right. Like, I love Geese, but
yeah. I mean, but, you know, we're about to talk about something else in a very similar fashion where everyone went, wah! Like he's been gone and he's toasted, but wah! He's back.
He's always back. But before we get to who's back, did they show any gameplay for Vice Mature for King of Fighters 15?
Just the artwork.
I think it was just a teaser, and they're not coming out till like the end of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like December. It said
they're like winter of this year.
Let me ask you a question. Because they announced as a silhouette and they announced Vice Mature, are they one character or two characters?
I don't think they confirmed that either one way or another.
I don't think it was directly confirmed, but I got the impression it was two characters.
Boo! I wanted to be like some Chang Choi type of thing from CBS2. That would have been cool.
You know what's
Yin
so
and Yang.
funny, Justin? When I saw the silhouette, I'm like, I know who that is. That's
right?
Obviously who that is. But I said the same thing. I was like, imagine if they were one character like Chang and Choi in CBS2. I said those same exact words to somebody, and they disagreed. I'm like, what do you mean? That would be so cool if they were
be cool
on the screen together. That would be so sick.
They could be like a tag mode, like Injustice 2 had the Ninja Turtles, and you played all four turtles. I think that would have been pretty.
This was a pipe dream I had in Street Fighter V as well, that they would add Yoon, and it was like, oh, maybe Yoon and Yang could be like one character, and they just like high five on and do special moves and shit.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool because it's just like a character's gimmick. It's like when, like medals for Manon or something like that. It's just like their thing that they can do. But I don't see SNK doing that with a KOF character because it messes up the team dynamic. Maybe a little bit is what they're thinking, but I think it would still be cool. When we saw their silhouette, everyone was like, it's Vice Mature, but I was like trying to big brain it and be like, that's so vice and mature that it can't be.
Yeah.
It has to be another character. And of course, massively wrong. Happy to be wrong though. I thought it was going to be like, who did I think it was? I thought it was Kasumi. Tendo's daughter.
Kasumi Todo.
Yeah, Todo. Thank you.
They did not take the obvious route, which was clearly, or at least to everybody, clearly a Capcom crossover in the SNK direction.
That's right.
Where now there's obviously the Capcom crossover in the SNK direction was a re-release of SVC Chaos. Obviously, Street Fighter 6 is getting a big Terry and Mai. So this relationship is like healed and now flourishing. So my question is, and it feels kind of obvious that at some point in SNK, a brand new SNK fighting game is going to get a crossover character from Capcom. So is that going to be Fatal Fury, or are they saving it for the tail end of KOF 15?
Ah, man, I think it has to be City of the Wolves now, don't you think? Just
Dude.
because that's gonna be the game that they have to push now. Because I feel like King of Fighters 15 we're at the end of it.
Yeah, I know.
But then who from City of the Wolves? Because like half the cast would have already been in KOF anyway.
Bro, like Ken.
And
Ken.
yeah.
Ken is the dude that, like, he's practically Mr. Southtown already in his Street Fighter 6 iteration, Like, I'm just saying, that's like a 2,000 gift sub bet if Ken shows up in City of the Wolves or some shit.
Ooh, like, if you had to choose a Capcom character, Joe, what character would you want to be in City of the Wolves?
Capcom character for City of Wolves?
Yeah.
I really got... someone else go. I got to think this through.
I would say someone from like Final Fight, like Cody, or maybe even Hagar.
Not a terrible
like
idea.
That.
I
just think Cody fits there.
Someone steals it, Shodown. I'm going to say Shodown.
Wow.
He's one of those characters that we always want to come back, but they just don't want to choose him.
Imagine he comes back in City of Wolves. That'd be crazy.
There would be the anti-pop. just like ooh, they like suck in like the air into their lungs. As the guest character, that's weird. But like if he showed up in Street Fighter 6, I would love it.
But I mean, when you think about SNK's choices of Capcom characters, they always choose the weird characters, like hence like SVC. SVC, they had a lot of weird Capcom characters. Like they're like, hey, we'll take Dimitri over Morrigan. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But most people would probably choose the Morrigan route, right? And so kind of same thing with like Firebrand. Like I never would expect Firebrand. What's his name in the game?
Red Armorer.
Red Armorer.
Red Armor, something like that. Right?
Yeah, like I'm surprised like he was in the game. I mean, he's busted. Like he's actually kind of crazy busted in that game.
And that's something I got to give SVC Chaos a ton of credit on. I love Capcom versus SNK. Capcom versus SNK 2 is one of the greatest fighting games ever. I absolutely despise the Capcom side of that roster. And to be real, like CVS 2 was the game that introduced me to a lot of SNK style characters. And I played mostly SNK characters in that game, man, because they were just so sick. So I think the example of SVC Chaos having like a crazy SNK side and a crazy Capcom side, dude, that is truly like SNK versus Capcom, in my opinion. More so than even CVS 2, because they really stretch the amount of like franchises they're going to, instead of primarily being just KOF versus Street Fighter.
I do like the crossovers too. Like if you're picking Hugo in SVC, Bao is in his head.
Yeah.
Right. So I like that type of stuff too.
The SNK characters that are appearing in Street Fighter 6, by that logic, it'd be cool if Chun-Li jumped over to Fatal Fury, for example.
Yeah, I feel like there's space for Chun. Like, I'd honestly think that there's a couple of characters that make sense and would fit really well. I think like Chun and Luke would be kind of cool in in KOF 15.
I don't want to see Luke. I don't want to see
as dry. Yeah, as dry as that is, it unfortunately makes perfect sense.
It kind of makes sense,
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see, because like I truly thought a Team Street Fighter would have made it to King of Fighters 15, but maybe they're at this point they might want to save it for City of the Wolves, or I didn't even know this was a thing. A new Art of Fighting and Sam Show action RPG confirmed to be in development. So I guess they talked about it in a panel. I'm assuming,
yeah,
right?
And that's all they really said.
Yeah, they just pretty much confirmed that they're working on it, and the Sam Show one's sort of a spiritual successor to the old Sam Show RPG that had existed, like, I don't know, Super Nintendo, MVS, something way, way, way back in the day. So
yeah, it was on the Neo Geo, and like there was a
on 64. I think it was called Samurai Shodown 64.
I think that was the fighting game.
Yeah. That was the fighting game. Sam Show RPG came out on the Neo Geo CD and like a PlayStation port.
What the fuck?
By the way, play that game. It's fully translated now. I played it a few weeks back. It's so good.
Cool.
You can when you do random battles, you can switch it to be fighting game inputs or just menu based Final Fantasy inputs.
I need to check that out. Like so you beat the game.
I did not beat the game, but I played it for like a lot longer than like, I'm just, doing one-off things, and I wanted to keep playing it, but it was so good because you can pick multiple characters and they all have their own storylines and stuff. And like the localization is like perfect. So yeah, if whatever game that SNK is working on, that's a spiritual successor to that and a new art of fighting, like I'm super down because like, I think Sam Show's world is rich enough that you can easily do an RPG. Like
I'm kind of curious on how long that game is because that sounds pretty interesting. The fact that it's an RPG and you could input special moves is actually kind of sick. Actually,
yeah. Aside from that, it's just like a regular RPG like Chrono Trigger, where you just walk around like a world map and then just do follow the storyline. It was super good. And the art of it, like just the intro or like big story scenes, is also really really amazing stuff. So.
Nice. Okay.
It's weird for SNK to kind of just, we're working on that, not even have a visual. Like at least when Garo was announced, they at least had the picture that Max screamed at multiple times. Right? So like they don't even have that for this, not even a logo. I was kind of like, it's a little weird to just drop that information.
Yeah, it's very soft reveal,
Yeah, very soft.
Man, it just seems like we talked so much about SNK, like SNK seemed to cook at EVO this year, like a lot of announcements, a lot of cool reveals, and even a collab, right? We have Street Fighter 6, the Terry trailer that they showed before Top 6 started for Street Fighter 6. I mean, I was expecting a gameplay trailer, but I get it. It's always the World Tour trailer first, right?
Yeah.
The tease. So how do we feel about the World Tour version of Terry?
I mean, he looks like an RE Engine SNK character, that's for sure. The thing is,
why is he not hot?
He's old,
Why does
right?
he look awkward?
Matt's like, I need him to be more fuckable. Come on, bro.
But look at Ryu and Ken. They look great. And like, he looks like a weird boy. Like he looks like Kevin McAllister. So he looks like he's Home Aloneing it.
Again, I think Street Fighter 6 has an interesting art style where it does not lean heavily into the beautification of characters. Even some shots of like, Cammy's obviously gorgeous and stuff like that, and Juri and Chun, but they do not like really lean into like mega beautify everybody. There's like a lot of like facial detail, and they'll make grimacing faces and be kind of like ugly in some shots because Street Fighter's like trying to go for some middle ground hyper realism, but not being Devil May Cry realistic. These people's faces are not the faces of real people, so it's a bit different. So I think like. Yeah, to me, like he kind of looks like Ken, where Ken in some shots of Street Fighter 6, is he a gorgeous bitch like he's been in the past? No, like he's kind of fucked up looking.
He's literally homeless, but that's why he hasn't been shaving.
But still, I mean, I think it just lines up with the art style. That's just kind of what Street Fighter 6 looks like,
I do want to say, as happy as I am that Terry is coming over in Street Fighter 6. I'm going to say it. I know I might get some flack for it, but they should have put the Garo outfit in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know why. I'm sure it's in the game. There's no way it's not in Street Fighter.
Exactly.
I feel like it's impossible. But I just would have liked that to be the default.
It fits. He feels out of place.
Yeah, I guess,
a little bit.
He feels slightly out of place compared to like the modern designs of all the other characters, how Ryu and Ken look.
Yeah.
Gauro Terry fits in perfectly. That's what I mean, like with Ken. I think Ken fits right into Fatal Fury. Just his design in this game matches that game almost identically. Terry's like straight out of the 90s type shit. It's
he feels out of time. Like he's Encino Man, basically.
Yes, thank you. Terry is EncinoMan.com.
Oh, Encino, that's a throwback. Encino Man.
Like I totally get what you guys are saying, is because like every other character grew up every character age. So when you have a guest character and they have the exact same default 90s costume, it does feel out of place. I didn't even think about it like that, but maybe that's what was bothering me.
Do you think it's more of like people are like, man, people might not know what Garo Terry looks like, so we gotta make it like Terry,
That's
like old school Terry, right?
Yeah.
It does look bad though. Yeah, it looks kind of whack. But maybe like you said, the Garo outfit should or hope to be in there. Now the question is it costume 2 or costume 3?
It's gotta be costume 2.
Do we have to spend money? Do we have to spend money? Do we have to spend money for costume 3, Terry?
Yeah, like what the hell is costume 3 Terry even gonna be? Like what other alternate are we gonna give us KOF 14 Terry? Like denim Terry? I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Give us a Fem Terry.
Fem Terry.
So yeah, you're just talking to Terry in World Tour mode, and Dimitri just shows up and just midnight blisses Terry.
That would be good.
Not again.
Give him the tight shorts, if anything.
But like I'd totally learn and master Terry in World Tour mode to just get his costume, see what his storyline even possibly is, and who he has connections with in Street Fighter world. Like I want to know, does he like beef with Ken? Does he have like
he has to?
Does he really want to beat Luke?
No, bro. Ken and Terry are like this. They're not, dude. They chill with each other. Have you played
One's
CBS
a rich
too?
dude.
No, that's not real lore though. That's not canon now. It might be canon now,
dude. Come on, they he throws him his hat and they like acknowledge each other.
No, Terry and Luke would hang out.
Oh, that's
in Street Fighter 6.
We shall
see.
We'll see.
That's kind of
sucks.
Because
they both play video games.
They got to push Luke. You're right. Yeah, that's kind of ass actually.
Terry goes to Neo Geo Land all the time and plays. Like him and Luke would be total bros. They'd be total wingmen to each other.
So you know why I thought the Terry trailer was kind of like it just felt off to me, because like the way Terry looked, I'm just like and then you have like obviously the random characters in the background, the avatar NPCs.
Lau, but he's beating up Lau. Remember Lau?
Yeah. So, but they all look kind of weird too. Obviously, they're not meant to be like, Blue Mary's not supposed to be Blue Mary, Andy, Joe, but Terry just looks like he was part of that squad. That's what it felt. That's what it felt like to me. I don't know.
Yeah, they've been teasing that kind of stuff for a long time. I think in the very first Street Fighter 6 World Tour reveal trailer, there's a character that is just straight up Robert Garcia. He's got the orange jacket and the pants and everything. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they've been teasing this. This has been something that they've been obviously, hovering around for a long time.
Yeah,
that was a thing. I think we even talked about it when that was revealed.
There was just
like,
a Robert Garcia dude in the first SF6 trailer.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the Guilty Gear Strive announcement?
That was probably the craziest thing.
Now that is a good question. So the characters, I think, was a good call in terms of like, Venom's finally back. That's cool. Dizzy's finally back. That's cool. No Jam
Queen Dizzy.
Has me for a
Queen
loop,
Dizzy.
Queen Dizzy, yeah.
Call her by her name.
Oh, is it legit Queen Dizzy now?
Queen Dizzy. She's married now.
I don't know if the Cyberpunk thing did anything for me at all, because I'm just not familiar with it.
Oh, you didn't watch the Netflix show?
No.
Did any of you two watch the Netflix show?
I watched it. Oh. Yeah, I watched it. She's a cool character, like in that show, like, but even aside from that, you haven't watched it. You look at her design, you're like, that's Guilty Gear-esque enough. But yeah, if you're not familiar with the character, it's like me talking about Hunter x Hunter. None of these characters do anything for me because I don't know them. So in terms of a guest character, I can imagine it falling flat for people that. Like it's like when Negan was announced. Like if you did not know Walking Dead, what is this?
But this one's like it's similar to Negan, where it's like we have a character from something else completely different and polar opposite of what this is. But I feel like this one kind of makes a bit more sense because this is still like very anime infused. Like obviously is in the same space. She already looks like a Guilty Gear style character. Like this ain't no Scorpion, bro. Like, get over here and fucking Guilty Gear or something. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's nothing crazy like that. To me, this kind of goes like, huh. Like, that's my reaction, was like a huh, instead of the what the hell sort of thing.
I have a question. Sorry for my ignorance, but is she in the game at all? Is she?
No, she's in the show. She's in the show.
Sorry, she's strictly from the show. Okay.
Yeah, strictly from the show. Edge Runner. It's a great show, by the way. Like, I love the show personally, so I was excited when seeing Lucy, because I was like, like seeing Lucy as a character develop in the show. I was like, man, she's so awesome. So like, this might make me want to play Guilty, or at least install the game back on to my PC to play Lucy personally.
And just to give you guys some added context, when this show debuted, like the opinion on Cyberpunk was still in the gutter. Like everyone was still like treating it like a laughing stock, and the show was so good that it reinvigorated everyone, and people reinstalled Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
and then Cyberpunk's big DLC that like also fixed a lot of issues. Like it was a 1-2 punch. Like it kind of kickstarted Cyberpunk, and now Cyberpunk is like considered, like a comeback story. So like the show did a lot of heavy lifting there. It's like when the Fallout show debuted on Amazon Prime and got everyone to reinstall and buy Fallout games again. So like, it is important.
Even that show was good. I didn't watch that one.
Yeah. Okay. That was solid too. But it was still like the what the hell, was not expecting this announcement of EVO, I think. Because even when we get to Tekken, even that was kind of like, okay, so it was like the craziest thing. It was like Geralt being in Soul Calibur, level.
It's it's like Jerry showing up in Soul Calibur 6. Mm-hmm. I think it's sort of like that.
Are you guys gonna try the 3v3 team mode? I didn't even know that was announced as well too.
Yeah. Yes, it's actually like tonight or something like that.
Yeah.
It's today. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I was like, is it like you're playing 3v3, but like as you're controlling the 3, or is it like one person per team?
One person.
I think we're waiting on it, but I think it's like one person. There's assists. Like it's a team mode.
It's just Marvel.
It's just fucking.
It's just Marvel.
Marvel Guilty Gear. Yeah.
It's just Marvel.
I just saw the assist and I was like, oh, I didn't know it was like that.
I thought it might have been more KOF, right? Like it might have been more KOF-y.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But then I think Soul came out and did an assist and I was like, oh.
Yes, as soon as you see one character do like a grounded string, launch up into another character, I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, this might be the way I play this game. This might be the new way.
Yeah.
And there's enough characters in the game now to like even support it, like versus when it launched or something like that. So wasn't there a tag team mode? Because when I was researching this to see like, is there like actual gameplay up on YouTube? Like I saw like videos from like a year ago that was talking about tag mode. Has Arc Sys been teasing this for a while?
No, dude, they announced this at the beginning of the last season.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, and it just vanished. So it was like,
it just disappeared.
I guess they retooled it to be this elaborate now. Maybe.
Yeah, they finally like. Well, it's being released. It took a long time.
I'd try it out for sure.
Yeah, I think it's more of just try it out. I don't think the people have tournaments for it because even the stage got bigger as well too. I think it's to hold all the characters, hold all the craziness that could happen when playing the game.
Zoomed out a bit.
Yeah, so we'll see. Granblue Fantasy versus Rising. They announced 3 characters? Vikala, I can't pronounce Sandalphon and Versasia
and Binkledorf
and Bingledorf.
Bathmodads.
Bathmodaz.
Yeah, I think they just announced 3 more new characters coming out for Granblue Fantasy versus Rising, just because it's been doing so good. I mean, EVO had over 1,000 people. It was like a Sunday final game, so that was like really awesome to see. So I'm glad that this game in general is just cooking, because obviously before Rising we had Versus, and that was before the pandemic, and the game just kind of died when the pandemic happened, right?
Yeah, it's like the opposite of DNF Duel.
I was watching the presentation they had of it. One of the new characters, this like girl with crazy big like red hair or blue hair. Yeah, she's
super tall, super
she looks
tall.
wild. Yeah. Looks like a god.
She looks awesome.
She is an OC, don't steal. So she was introduced in the GBVSR like story or something like that, not present in Granblue as a game before Rising. So it's like, she's actually like a new character.
Like brand new to the universe type of thing.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It wasn't just like, we're just waiting on this character to show up from the mobile game. No. It's apparently like a brand new character.
So it's kind of like the Guilty Gear OC in the anime is now in the season pass.
It's like Lab Coat 21.
Yeah, that makes sense. Lab Coat 21.
Android 21.
Android 20.
It's been a while since I heard that infamous name.
Yeah, I mean they had a side tournament for Dragon Ball. I don't know. Like there was a bunch of side tournaments at EVO for Dragon Ball as well too. I didn't see this one, Matt. Did they announce this at EVO or the Rivals 2 Orcane?
Yeah, no, it was
Oh, yeah.
it was part of it for sure. Where Orcane was in the original Rivals of Aether, and I really liked it. Such a fucking cute animal slash fighter. So they were missing from Rivals too, and they just got added. And they look great. The gameplay trailer looks awesome. The bigger news is like every one of our DLC characters after this will be free.
Oh shoot, that's
Just-
crazy.
Yeah, like because Rivals has a pretty big community. I guess is just their way of giving back. I don't think they announced any of those characters. I might be wrong, but I don't think they have. But yeah, like one of the smaller fighting games and bits of news out there. But like, I still,
Yeah, of course.
I need to play it again because I played it when it was like kind of early, so I'd want to get back in. But like, I loved Orcane because it's just like cool ass Pokemon almost. Like
he
compared
looks
to the other
mad cute.
fighters.
You know who he reminds me of? You ever watched the movie How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah,
It's toothless-ish.
Yeah. It looks like Toothless. Like if you think about like his like demeanor and everything, it kind of reminds me of Toothless. So I really do like that. So I think that's a pretty cute character. I know MultiVersus WB Games was there. I didn't know that Samurai Jack and Beetlejuice was being added. That's
Beetlejuice.
Don't say his name 3 times, please. Please don't say his name 3 times.
I said the same thing. I got to do the announcement for it, and I was like, I'm only saying this name twice. I'm only saying it a third
Oh,
time.
okay. How was the?
That's just
Yeah.
the idea to have these characters in video games now is like it's really cool to me. I think that whole it's really really cool.
How was that
Like-
announcement when you were like when you had to announce
It was
Beetlejuice coming
pretty
back?
good. I know Sonic Fox was flipping out for not flipping out, but Sonic was like Samurai Jack, Samurai Jack,
Samurai Jack.
Samurai
Like,
Jack. What? But it's
Samurai
cool.
Jack is a
The
really
crowd certainly digged it, which is important. So.
Yeah, he's a really like cool, safe pick, and like Beetlejuice fits right in as well. There was that Samurai Jack game from like a few years ago where it was like another action slasher thing, and it didn't turn out very well. I don't think in the end.
It's done
so-
by like the Ninja Gaiden devs.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like you'd consider that like to be an amazing team up, but yeah, I don't think it did super well. So seeing Jack in like a fighting game just makes perfect sense. So yeah, that's pretty sick. Like yeah, and of course Beetlejuice makes sense too because of the movie. I think that was timed out.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
deliberately.
I forgot about that. The new version's coming out, right?
Yeah.
Is these 2 characters already out, or is it just only one?
I think Jack is,
Jack is okay,
and
but not.
Beetlejuice is later.
Oh, Beetlejuice
Again,
is
like
later.
the release of MultiVersus characters is kind of weird because they're in a rift and you got to fight them in a rift or something. Like there's the way
Yeah.
characters are effectively released is kind of like, different. So I don't know exactly. It's kind of hard to tell.
Mm.
So do you think because of this game and also WB Games being at EVO and they're making an announcement, possibly, do you think EVO 2026 or 2025, this could be a EVO game?
Yeah,
Well-
I'd imagine I'll have at least one.
2XKO is likely going to be out before next Evo. There's a chance. Ain't no way that ain't showing up.
Yeah, but I mean it's a different game though. It's like a
Yeah,
compare,
I
like,
get it. I
a
just
platformer.
mean like spots. Like what? So what do we start taking out?
spots.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I would feel like you would. I feel like you would
Sadly.
replace. I feel like you have to replace or would replace Mortal Kombat 1 with MultiVersus.
That's a
That
good
would be
call.
wild.
That makes sense.
It would. I think it makes sense as consumers. I do not think it makes any sense from a WB Games publisher perspective.
Yeah, why would they?
That's a
Why would they
good point.
take out both of their games? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think having 2 WB game titles headlining Evo,
That's not a thing.
That's
That never
not-
happened before.
Yeah,
I
that's
believe.
no.
I don't know about that.
Was Injustice and MK ever both
Nope.
at Evo? No,
Not at the same
I'm
time.
not.
I mean,
not
side
to my
tournament, sure.
knowledge. Yeah,
okay,
not to my knowledge.
as a main game.
As
To
a
ma- to
main
ma-
game.
To many people's behest, like even Injustice 2 showed up for like a year or two, and people were like, "Oh!" So it doesn't always go super swimmingly.
I don't
mean,
know the
we-
numbers for when Multiverse had their first year at Evo. It was a big side tournament where they added like $100,000 prize pool. I don't know how many people entered that tournament, but I mean, it ran, and Void was able to win. So
It tried to run.
And
Yeah, it tried to run the beta.
well, we do live in a timeline where Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite didn't even get a single Evo, unfortunately. So it's like just depending on timing and things, like it could just not happen for certain games.
I mean, DNF Duel also didn't get 1
No
year
Evo for
Evo as
DNF.
well too.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. But I don't think 2 WB games would make it to Evo line. I would be really surprised if both MK1 and MultiVersus was at
let's
Evo
just
next year.
look
they
at
are very different.
what was there this year. Just speaking hypothetically, what was there this year that is like in contention of not making it a following year? You guys already mentioned like Mortal Kombat 1. Numbers aren't doing specifically great. It wouldn't
Under Night.
It wouldn't break the bank if it didn't make it. Under Night, does that have a chance of making it back?
I don't know. It's tough. I think King of Fighters 15 will be replaced with City of the Wolf.
Yeah.
Sure,
No,
right?
that's
and
true,
that makes
that's
sense.
true.
So there we go.
Right.
We have a replacement. City of the Wolves SNK game is obviously the new headline hero.
Yeah, Third Strike would obviously be replaced with the next retro title that
Next
they would
retro
do.
title, Marvel 2 or whatnot.
And then we have Granblue stays. Come on, that was a
Granblue
Sunday
stays.
game.
I'm just asking.
I could see Under Night being replaced by Hunter x Hunter Net Impact, but that's maybe.
Ooh, I am going to go out on a limb, and I think Net Impact is going to be a lot of fun, but I think it's going to be in the exact same spot as a DNF Duel.
So you don't think like it might not make it?
I don't know if it would. It had to be like really pop. It'd have to be like, fuck, this is now the sweetest shit. Like it has to be so good.
All right, let me ask you a question because in my head, I'm thinking about this hard. So obviously the EVO retro title is more of just like, oh, we're going to bring back this game from the past. Obviously we're not going to think it's going to do really big numbers, but Third Strike had 1,000 people. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom Arcade Collection has been killing it on just sales and everything, like on Amazon or whatever. And it's expected to be like this big giant blow where everybody's going to play. Do you think Marvel vs. Capcom 2 comes back as an official title and not an EVO retro title?
Oh, hell no.
I think there's a
100%.
chance.
You think it will?
I
return.
really believe that Marvel 2 is going to be a main game next year.
Yeah, like a return, not a retro title.
Because Third Strike got in by doing nothing. There's no new Third Strike.
Okay.
It's gonna replace Third Strike.
Okay, there you go.
That's what I'm asking, because I'm asking because you know how like if you have a big huge community that's like really popping off, like that's kind of a game. EVO would be like, oh, we're gonna bring that game into EVO. So I'm just thinking like, would Marvel vs. Capcom 2 either take as an official main title spot or in a retro spot?
Main title.
There's no way you're gonna bring back Marvel 2 as a new mainline title. There's too many other like modern games that
but not just for 1 year. Not just for 1 year.
I think it'll just be there. Yeah, I think it'll come back. I think it'll come back next year for a 1 year retro title.
Now, do you think it comes back next year or the following year? Because I feel like there's too much Capcom bias.
Oh, yeah,
if it's
for sure.
a third year retro title.
Interesting point. Did we talk about like that whole thing of like the issue with other games and how it's hard to get other games in there? Like we talked about some SNK games would make a lot of sense, like KOF 2002, all that kind of stuff. People were recommending Tekken, and it's like, bro, where's that community? Like, if you're talking about Tekken 5 and Tekken 5 DR, which are arguably the retro Tekkens, like T5 DR is the one that you'd want a retro Tekken to show up because it's the one that all Tekken heads are like, oh, that was the best Tekken game. But where the hell is that community? Like, they're all playing Tekken 8. There's no way to play T5 DR. Even with functional online, it doesn't exist. So their community is like kind of limited to small local get-togethers and maybe some minor Discord stuff. This is the challenge with games like this. That's why Marvel 2 makes sense. The community is about to go whoop. You're about to get a whole bunch of people whoop, like jumping in and joining. My goofy ass Spider-Man Venom team is gonna whoop so much ass. Like, we're about to get that. So I think that's the problem with most like retro titles. There needs to be like a congregation of people to actually even play some of these old games to get in there.
Yeah, that's kind of tough, huh?
Third Strike was kind of like it was its 25th anniversary. So that's like
25th anniversary, and it literally has 500 plus people playing it on Fightcade every single night. Like,
I think it jumped up to 1,000 now. It jumped up to like 1,000.
It was 1,100 after EVO had 1,100.
Damn,
nice.
11
emulation, dude. That's a shit ton of people.
Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. Okay, so if you're thinking King of Fighters gets replaced by City of the Wolf, Marvel 2 takes the retro spot, 2XKO if it comes out, obviously it's guaranteed a spot. Street Fighter 6, obviously it's not going to go away. Tekken 8, right? Tekken 8's obviously back. Guilty Gear Strive will definitely stay as well too. Granblue will stay as well
Granblue.
too.
Granblue staying. Side Games has a lot of money.
Yeah, and then replacing Mortal Kombat 1 with MultiVersus.
Killer Instinct.
I'm just calling it. I don't think MK1's going anywhere, dude.
You think it's staying?
I think it's staying.
I agree with Max. I don't think it goes anywhere either.
I'm just surprised.
Would I prefer another game to be there instead of MK1? Oh yeah, but if we're talking about like the logistics of the situation and what will happen, I think MK1 isn't going fucking anywhere.
Yeah, I guess so, because
You're probably right.
The booth, they had a huge booth this year, and that's guaranteed income, right? So
that game could also potentially by next EVO be way better.
I hope so. I really hope so. Just because I'm just so so turned off about it. Just like everything's always broken or whatever. But it seems like Takeda. I just saw some clips of like Mustard and Ketchup doing, and like Takeda looks really cool.
Yeah.
Right,
his second fatality is nuts. Like his first fatality is kind of like meh, but saw a video of someone doing it on the show floor, and it's crazy. Actually,
have you tried Takeda? Max, like, did they bring Takeda to EVO?
I played like very briefly, like 30 minutes of him before we did our final day show. No, I haven't been able to play much of him. I'm playing him tonight.
Oh, okay. And so they didn't bring, I guess, a setup to your stream or anything like that.
Unfortunately, no. We really wanted to, but that was the problem. Was that like WB is a big publisher, so maybe in the future, if stuff happens down the line. But no, it wasn't possible for the show.
Okay. Now, let's talk about who's back. We keep mentioning it.
Who's not back, Justin?
How excited were you about Heiachi, everybody?
I think I was pretty fucking shocked. Like, really? And then I think I appreciate the reveal. He literally has the camera up his mouth and he's laughing in your face. Like, you stupid dumb bitches. How could you ever believe I would be dead? Like, he's been dead multiple times. This is the third time Heihachi's been dead, right? He died in Tekken 1. He climbed up the fucking
Tekken
mountain.
1, Tekken 5.
And then Tekken 5, he died. He got killed by Jax. And then Tekken 7, he got thrown into the volcano.
I feel like the tagline of Tekken 5 is Heihachi Meshima
is dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're always wrong. But it's not like he got resurrected, right? It's like it just didn't kill him. So,
he's like young.
Yeah,
he got resurrected.
Younger.
No, he's still old. He's still
no, dude. He does not have gray on his face anymore.
Yeah, it was black hair.
He definitely looks young. Yeah, his mustache is dark.
He looks like Tekken Tag 2 Heihachi, and they did that with that dream version of him where he's like a young man again.
I don't know what happened. I'm kind of curious about it too.
He definitely has some sort of fucking soul transference or some shit. That's what I'm saying they should do to Geese. Like he died and they transferred his soul to another body.
His chest has Kazuya's fist in it.
It do.
Like, but you don't soul transfer into your own body.
He also
it's still his body,
dude.
Did you see that quote today from Harada just saying, "I didn't mean to lie"?
I
couldn't believe that. I really forgot about it. It's like, but it's like when your DLC character is actually coming, and someone says, "Is Heihachi's dead?" What are you actually supposed to say? You have to just lie. Now
you do have to lie.
That, yeah. But
Heihachi
he did mean to lie.
100% dead.
No, that's what when they showed the trailer, they cut to Harada and he said, Heihachi is dead. And I was like, oh, he
completely
meant that.
Dead.
But yeah,
so I think it was surprising. I think it was
really
like of all the Tekken characters, of mainstay Tekken characters they could have shown, would fucking Marduk have gotten that reaction? Would fuck your mom have shown up and been like, hey, let's go? Like, I don't know if that no character in core Tekken would have elicited that reaction.
Right? Everyone's saying that character is next. Fakaram, whatever his name is.
Well, people are saying that because the people were believing a leak that Mike Murray was saying this is bullshit, and no one believed him. And that was the character a part of the leak. The leak was bullshit. It was not real.
Yeah, which is good. But people are saying, well, if you reveal Heihachi now, who's going to be the ending character of season 1? It's like the reverse of Street Fighter 6, where it's like got to go on a bang with Akuma.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's like
you have to. That's the guest character.
Yeah.
Guest character. Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay.
That's Cloud. That's Tifa.
That's Tifa. That's Cloud. That's some fucking wild Final Fantasy crossover. That's Clive. I don't know. That is the lead hero of Elden Ring. It is Radon. Some shit. Like we have to reach into the crevices and find something real good.
Like knowing how crazy things can get and how Tekken's had before, it's just gonna be Billy Butcher now from The Boys or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, but the trailer for the Heihachi trailer, I'm not gonna lie, I was hyped for these Tekken monks.
Me too.
Dude,
those Tekken monks were they were good, bro. I was like, I was excited about that.
Training, doing like all the Meshima moves was really cool.
That was cool, bro. The Tekken
I hope that's a costume for Heihachi with the mask and please, because that was really cool. I was like, I want this character.
And they further were so Heihachi's like a big story character too, because he's now the new protagonist moving forward of the story. The narrative is no longer against Kazuya; it's going to be against Heihachi. So and Eddie's involved, and Polska is involved, Lydia's involved. So that's going to be neat. It's going to be interesting.
Somehow they got all the DLC characters involved. That was kind of genius. But hey, you need to buy Lydia and Eddie to be part of this Heihachi storyline now. Oh, that was good. All right, so obviously, overall Evo was a huge success. You guys all went. Are you guys gonna think about coming back next year, 2025?
No, I'm thinking about coming back 3 more times during the year.
Is it 3? Or 4? It's 4.
I wasn't Singapore announced to be like 2026?
Yeah,
no, so there's Evo LA, Vegas,
Singapore.
No, Singapore's 2026.
Is it 2026?
Is it?
Yeah, Vegas, Japan, and France.
Okay, you're right.
France.
But is the one in LA? It just said award show.
Yeah,
it's an award show.
Yeah.
I think that one's a tournament.
Yeah, it's not a tournament. It's more of like an award show where like Joe gets an award for being so awesome and built like a rock, that type of stuff. But I think that's really cool. I love
most physically fit.
I'm not going with that award.
I love that though. It's just so nice that it's like a FGC award show. I think that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, but I mean, we already have an award winner here with us. We have
Max won an award a while back. So you're right.
That's some ancient history, man. It's like 2015 or some shit. Chill.
Because he's
Justin, you also just got one
last weekend, or was I seeing something?
Yeah.
By the way, congratulations,
right
Justin.
There it is. You want to see it?
There it is.
Right there. It's literally right here, bro. It's right here, bro. There you go.
Oh, they're gonna flex awards?
Flex award.
I have a participation trophy.
I actually did not. Okay, so I didn't expect this whatsoever. So how? I'm assuming you knew about it for I don't know if that weekend or a few.
Wait,
few
you're
weeks
saying that
or whatever.
I know about it?
I didn't know about it. I'm saying Joe. Did Joe know about it? Joe, you knew about
yours before you got yours.
I knew that you were doing something, that you were getting something, but they didn't tell me what. And I was like, all right.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
This is the old 2015 one. This is when James Chen and Ultra David got theirs too.
Nice. That's so awesome.
So I had no fucking idea. I wasn't even in the arena because they closed it off. There was too many people. So it was like, oh, this was at Bally's, by the way. This was a long time ago.
I thought I got in trouble because I was already. This is the way how it went down. So I'm on the commentary desk getting ready to do Third Strike. They're trying to fix the arcade hardware to get it working, and then Ben, he's one of the guys that's working production. He's like, "Yo, can I talk to you for a second?" And I'm like, when you hear something like that, I'm like, "Oh, can I talk to you for a second?" I'm like, "Oh, I did something wrong. What did I do?" So I'm going there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, just wait right here." And I'm waiting right here for like 10 minutes, and I'm just like, it's a long ass time, right? And then they're like, "Yeah, just go stick with Mark." And I'm like, damn, something's happening. So then I see Daigo come up, and I'm just like, oh, that makes sense. They want us to play Third Strike, and I'm gonna throw the super out, call it a day, and then boom, right? That's just, and then we're gonna run the Third Strike, right? That's literally what I'm thinking the whole time. And then eventually Joe came out announcing bringing Mark in, and then they start doing this thing, and I'm just like, we're not playing Third Strike, we're doing something else. So I was really confused for like 99% of the time, and then the only thing Mark told me was like, just remember why you play fighting games, and that was it. So it was a very touching moment because I didn't know, I was getting the award. Because the crazy part about the Canon Award, like, I knew Sherry was going to get the Canon Award weeks ago because they told me.
Congrats to her.
Right, congrats to her with the E5 pass. They told me, so I'm like, he's like, don't tell her. I was like, yeah, I won't tell her. So the fact that like they're telling me like don't tell her, but then they're like, yeah, but you getting an award too, bitch, and they didn't tell me. I was like pissed off.
It was funny from our end because we were rebroadcasting it, right? And everyone's like, Justin's getting an award. I'm like, what? And I flipped over and it has you giving the speech to everybody, like, and saying hi to the family and everything. I'm like, this is wonderful. This is so great. And then it's like you say thank you and go the opposite direction. And then the lights come down and was like, we have another one. And then it shows like you just straight getting parried by Daigo. Yeah. I'm like, this poor dude just can't escape this shit. Like, he just cannot. Why would they do him like that?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it makes sense with the Impact Award. Like, if I'm gonna get one, then like Daigo is gonna get one too, right? Sure. So so I'm just excited that there's another award besides the Canon Award, the Impact Award. So maybe there's multiple awards in the near future. Maybe the award show will have more details about it. But I really like the fact that they're like they're going to celebrate a lot of people that's been putting a lot of work in the fighting game community.
Yeah, and I'm really kind of like looking forward to this award show to see like TOs and shit. There's one thing that comes to my mind is like, okay, so if there is a absolute uncongratulated element of the FGC, it's literal people that are like bracket runners and TOs and people that actually make this stuff possible. So if this is a situation for us to put them on the forefront, I don't want it to be all content creators and people that get first place and shit. I think that there is a space of like the FGC that absolutely deserves recognition for whooping ass and keeping their communities alive for so many years. I hope that's what this is.
See, Joe, you got to get your ECT award at the LA show. You know what I mean? You're running ECT.
Justin, if for any reason I get an award and you're there, I'm going to jump on you from the stage.
just embrace.
Right now, it's your fault.
Why is it? I don't see how it's my fault at all.
I know how you work. I've known you long enough. I know how you work. This is your fault.
No.
Hold it and be like, Justin, this is your fault.
It's not. I think it's more of just like you keeping the scene alive. Obviously, there's not many like East Coast tournaments. So the fact that you brought ECT and make it as big as it is, it's really a dream come true for a lot of people that can participate, right? Because not everybody is going to be like, I can go to EVO or I can go to CEO Column Breaker. So the fact that you got a major tournament at the Northeast scene, it really helps a lot for those people that can't make it to like the farther regions, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
No, of course.
Still your fault, though, dude. Still blame it all on you.
It's not. But it's not. It's Max's fault if anything. He's the one that
Max's fault.
He started it. Actually, if you think
I'm
about
sorry.
it,
I don't know what I'm apologizing for, but I'm sorry.
He started it. You're the guy that made everything happen.
Shit.
But I think that kind of wraps it up. Joe, where can people find you?
Everything is pretty much this is LA Joe. That's mostly on Twitter, little bit of Instagram, not really a lot, little bit of streaming, little bit of YouTube, but you can find me at this is LI Joe.
So if you guys are hearing that Joe is not doing enough on socials and streams, so leave the comments below, tell Joe to do more, because me and Max, we've been telling him that he needs to do more when it comes down stuff like he's so talented,
Get out there.
I don't full-time streamer. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Just drop the whole life, just full-time stream. It'll be easy, right, Joe?
Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy.
Super
Everybody
nervous. Yeah.
All my friends do it. Why don't you do it too? Thank you guys so much. I really you guys know I do care about this tremendously, and you guys are doing your thing tremendously, and I love what all you do for me and for us as a community. So I just wanted to get this opportunity to say thank you to you guys and everyone that's really helped pushing the scene out there and getting more people involved and everything. So, and I appreciate the support you guys give me all the time. So nothing but love to you and everybody else out there. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for having you on, man.
Thank you.
Man, thank you.
I think this might be the most wholesome ending we've ever had on an episode of Triple KO. So that's
we're
nice.
trying to abruptly end here, okay?